Hello everybody, Parker York Smith here. Welcome back to another episode of Ask Parker, where I answer your questions about fashion, social media, whatever you're curious about. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram so you can DM me your questions, guys. That way you're helping me out with content. I'm helping you out with answers. It's people helping people. It's a beautiful thing. Today's question comes from Jasper.McQueen, and he asks, as a student and fashion enthusiast, what are some tips that you could give me to help me grow my following? Love that question, because even if you're not necessarily trying to be an influencer these days, guys, having a solid social media following is extremely beneficial. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, in order to grow your following, you've got to have good content. For me, when I first got started a few years ago, I went out and bought an entry-level Canon DSLR, a Rebel. It was like 300 or 400 bucks. It came with a lens. I bought a little remote that I used to take a lot of my photos and a tripod. So I was taking photos of myself, I was experimenting with different things, and I learned how to create really nice content. I looked around Instagram, I started copying off people that I envied, and then sooner or later, I kind of built my own style. Having solid content, learning how to edit your photos, watch some YouTube videos, make your photos look really nice, and you want to be posting consistently. I would say at least once a day, once every other day minimum. Understand that Instagram is really interested in having you on the platform as well. They want you there, and they want everybody using it as much as possible. So use all of the functionality that they offer to you. You should be using your stories, going live, posting video and photos. Tip number 2, I want you to be specific. You have to decide what style of profile that you want to have and stick with it. You don't want to be all over the place. If you want to be a fashion page, you can mix it up within the fashion world by posting accessory photos, outfit photos, shoes, things like that. But I wouldn't get mixed up in posting landscape or, sunsets or food or anything like that, because it's just going to confuse your audience. Also, with Instagram's algorithm now, you want it to recognize what type of content that you're putting out so that they can recommend it to the right type of audience. For instance, if you're posting a lot of fashion, people that are going through and liking fashion type photos, Instagram is going to recognize that and they're going to recommend your content to those people. Whereas if you're putting out all different kinds of content, Instagram's not going to be able to recognize what type of profile you have, so they're not going to recommend it to other people, which is just going to decrease the amount people see your page, which then decreases the amount that they follow you. Tip number 3, you got to adjust your perspective. Remember, at the end of the day, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, these are all social medias, which means there is a social aspect to them. You have to be willing to put in your time and effort, just like you would with any relationship, in order for it to be fruitful. Think about it as paying it forward. When you are going through and you're scrolling through your feed or through the Explore page and you see something you really like and you like it, but then you also write a comment on it and let them know how much you appreciated it, it's easy to tell when I'm reading through that and I see your comment and I'm like, oh wow, I really appreciate that he took the time to write that. I'm so happy that I now know that I made an impact on someone, and you're paying it forward by making that comment, because I'm more likely to then go to your page and write a little comment and like a few of your photos, because I want to show that appreciation right back to you. Tip number 4, you got to go business. What I mean by this is that you got to switch your account over to a business account. What this is going to do is going to provide you with analytics for behind the scenes things. You can understand what type of content when you post that people really enjoy. If you post a picture of shoes and it gets way more engagement, you're going to understand, oh wow, people really appreciate when I post shoe photos or watch photos or pictures of my whole outfit as an entire thing, because I'm teaching them how to style something a certain way. Whatever it may be, when you have the business account, you can go into the back end and look at your analytics of how people responded to it and know that this is the type of content that I want to be posting because it's most beneficial to other people, which is then in turn most beneficial to you. And tip number 5, you got to diversify. Gaining traction on Instagram isn't necessarily only always about being on Instagram. You can very easily draw people to your account through use of other social media. For instance, if you're like me, I am always trying to drive people to my Instagram page through my YouTube videos, because hopefully someone will see the video and appreciate what I share with them, and then I'll push them to my Instagram so that they can get even more exposure to me, even more exposure to what I'm providing to them. So those are my 5 tips on how to grow your Instagram following. I do want to also finish off the video with a few do nots, because although there are things that you can really do to be helpful, there are definitely things that you can do that will be hurtful as well. Don't buy your followers. If someone has 75,000 followers and they're only getting 150 to 200 likes on their photos, it's pretty clear that they bought a lot of that following. Gaining a large following is going to take time, but also understand that it's not necessary for you to be massive. You don't need hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers or followers in order to make an impact. My account has 31,000 followers and it's my full-time job doing Instagram and social media. So understand that if you do it the right way, it's gonna take time, I'm not gonna lie to you, but you can absolutely still do it with a moderately sized account. You don't need to be massive. And lastly, on my do not list, guys, don't be thirsty. Don't be the guy out there who's just throwing a emoji on every little photo and just because you want people to click through to your name. It's not helpful. It's not truly building any sort of relationship, and people are gonna see through that. They're not gonna follow and be truly engaged in what you're providing them. And that's it, guys. That is my do's and do nots of growing your Instagram following. Just a quick recap. You gotta have great content. You wanna be specific. Make sure you adjust your perspective on why you're doing it. Definitely gotta go business account, and be sure that you diversify across all social media networks. Thank you so much to Quentin for your question. I hope that this was helpful for you, my man. Be sure that you guys follow me on Instagram so you can send me your Ask Parker questions. We can handle it in a future video. If you liked today's video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not already. Please tell a friend about the channel, guys. And as always, gotta do it for you, not them. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.